Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
The universe is mental.
There it is. And the power of the mind is something that we definitely need to be able to digest and know the importance of the power of the mind, because with that, there is vision, going back to that has to, well, we don't say it have to, but it needs to take place when one is trying to, evolve, upgrade your life, if you will. A new walk, a new talk, a new way of looking at things. And with that being said, brother, again, you said you came to a point in your life to where you was already inking a book, but somewhere in there, during that time frame, it was interrupted by what we would call a new mind or a new way of thinking, all the way to the cutting of the locks. Is it anything, again, in particular, maybe you might have missed in our first session about the actual influence and the motivation for the new walk, the new talk, and the new way of looking at things?
I'm 45 now. I'm a middle-aged man.
That's what, yeah.
And so I just noticed that via lifestyle, a lot of my lifestyle, it didn't reflect that of a man in his full maturation. I began to have these flashbacks of my father. Now see, I was raised and come from the loins of a superior man.
Talk about it.
And so it's certain aspects of life I've never seen my father in. I've never seen my father be commanded. I've never seen him checked. I've never seen him bow down. I've always seen him carry himself in a very respectful or authoritative manner. And so, man, I was like, man, some of the shit I'm doing, boy, my daddy was to see me, man, he'll put his foot so far up my ass, man, it wouldn't even make sense.
Talk about it.
And so
your daddy, who was it?
Frank Ditto.
Oh, okay.
And that was it was like some way to check me. My daddy was checking me from the grave. And that was because of the rearing that I had. This is why fathers are important, because some things you never forget. And one of the things that I never forget, a lot of things I never forget are exactly what I told you, is the way I viewed my father, it's the way the world viewed my father, and it's the imprint I know he left on the world. And so knowing that I'm my father's son, I'm my daddy's son, at some point, it only made sense that I began to transform my own walk and my own talk. And so that was a major influence in me saying, you know what, enough of the child's play, I'm ready to go on and man up and let go of some of the little boy shit. No matter how much money or what you can do to mask your actions, when you take the mask off, you realize it's still not of an upstanding nature. You still not walking in your true godliness and in your true manhood, and definitely not in authority. So thinking about pops in my head, that was one thing that made me straighten up. You know, like they say, put a rod in your back, or
That's right.
or whatever, a plank.
Really,
make you stand up straight. So that was one of those things, man, thinking about pops.
The brother said a rod in your back. Spare the rod, spoil the child. Now watch this real quick, because we've been thinking in the wrong manner about what the rod really is. In the scriptures, that rod symbolizes your spine. You see? Spare the rod, spoil the child, meaning if you choose to be the spine or the rod for your child via no boundaries, no discipline set in place, You're constantly again being that rod or that spine for that child. That child will grow up and not be able to establish concrete boundaries, him or herself. So when we go to that scripture, we need to know that. Again, any scripture in the Bible or the holy books, we need to know the metaphysical meaning of what it really means. Because we've been thinking you go get a belt or a switch and whoop and whoop their ass. Now again, we're not dismissing that fact that was necessary in a lot of our lives, including mine, to where I know that switch and that belt,
Save
you know what I mean? Yeah, it gave some type of sense of correction. But we just want to know the truth of the matter. And the truth of the matter is that rod is symbolizing our spine. Because you know how we say he's spineless. He ain't got no spine, he ain't got no backbone.
like a jellyfish.
Come on.
Well, even with that, when we think about our spine, even as I begin to walk, and talk like a man, my posture changed. Because this is not very confident. This is not very affirmative. This gives you more of a lazy connotation. You look at him, but sitting up like this means I'm ready for business. I came here to take care of business, to say what needs to be said, back straight, head up, chest out. So even down to having great posture is something that I found myself wanting to correct.
Father knows best. That's what I got out of what the good brother was saying, because he, again, was motivated by his father from the spirit realm, you see, from the ancestral realm, if you will. Knowing what he said, he knew that the way that he was walking, talking, and living would be an abomination to his natural father. You see how important that is, family. Again, Father knows best, and let's not buy into the propaganda about how less important, let's say that father is in a child's life, because he's gonna make a major difference, as we can see. And we have probably, we could go through a plethora of examples of sons and daughters that give that honor and respect to their father and what their fathers instilled in them, and how it's relevant and has allowed them to be able to move a certain way. And in moving a certain way, guess what? You're gonna attract
That's right.
a certain thing to you. That's important as it relates to the power of the mind, vision, and walking new, talking new, acting new, living new, etc.
Check.